Becoming a penetration tester today is not easy. You can complete all the courses, collect dozens of certifications, pwn hundreds of hack-the-box machines, but yet employers still hesitate to bring you on board because you lack real-world experience. That's the reality of becoming a penetration tester. But what if there was a smarter entry point? Enter web application penetration testing, the area of offensive security that is absolutely dominating the job market right now. In this video, I'll show you not only how to become a web app pen tester, but also why mastering web app testing is one of the most valuable skills you can build for a long, successful career in offensive security. For those of you who only want the high-level summary, here's what you need to know. Right now, web application penetration testing makes up the majority of client demand. I estimate about 70% of my real-world engagements are web application penetration tests, compared to only 30% of traditional network testing. Bug bounty programs offer flexible opportunities to gain real-world experience or to supplement your income, with payouts ranging from recognition and swag to thousands or even millions of dollars. However, there is a downside to bug bounty programs. They are performance-based in nature. If you don't find valid bugs, then you don't get paid. Here is a structured roadmap that I recommend if you are interested in becoming a web application penetration tester. For starters, you have to have a good foundation in both networking and security fundamentals, so something like the CompTIA Network Plus paired with Security Plus is a good starting point. Then with the foundations under your belt, I recommend going over to TryHackMe and completing both web app testing learning paths. There is a beginner level one, and then there's also an intermediate level one. Also, consider doing the PortSwigger Web Security Academy, and if you don't know, PortSwigger is the creators of the popular tool Burp Suite. Then, while you are completing your TryHackMe rooms and you're doing your PortSwigger Web Security Academy, you should also be pursuing entry-level or junior-level certifications. I recommend doing the TryHackMe PT1 or the TCM Security PWPA. Then, after you get done with one of those entry-level / junior-level certifications, I recommend moving on to the more intermediate certifications such as the OffSec OSWA, the TCM Security PWPP, or the Hack the Box CWES, which used to be called CBBH. They changed the name to CWES. Expert level certifications such as the OffSec OSWE, the TCM Security PWPE, or the Hack the Box CWEE aren't necessary to land your first pen testing job. However, they'll help you land promotions and open up more favorable opportunities down the road after you land your first pen testing gig. However, technical skills alone are not enough. Nowadays, recruiters and hiring managers are looking for visibility and communication skills. Building a personal brand on LinkedIn, GitHub, blogs, and YouTube is more important than ever before. Strong resumes, interview skills, and soft skills are critical. Most candidates are eliminated because competitors present themselves better or they fit the company culture more naturally. Consistency in both learning and self-marketing is key. Treat web app pen testing as both a technical discipline and a personal brand building journey. If that high-level summary was all you needed, then feel free to click off the video now. But before you go, do me a small favor and like this video and subscribe for more hacking and cybersecurity content. And for the elites who are sticking around for the full breakdown, let me quickly introduce myself for those who are new to the channel. Hello, my name is Kyser Clark. I've been a cybersecurity professional for over 7 years now, and I currently work as a full-time penetration tester, also known as an ethical hacker. This stuff isn't theory. This is what I do in the real world every single day, and I'm here to help you grow your hacking and cybersecurity knowledge. Why web application penetration testing? When I was breaking into penetration testing, the advice was simple: get your OSCP. And while the OSCP is a fantastic certification and it absolutely opens up doors for you, it barely scratches the surface on web application penetration testing. What people outside the field don't realize is that there is actually significantly more work available in web application penetration testing than in network penetration testing. When I started nearly 2 years ago, around 60% of my engagements were web application. Today, closer to 70% of my work is web app pen testing, while about 30% of my work is network pen testing. And this isn't just my experience. Across the industry, more clients are asking for web application assessments than traditional internal or external network tests. My own company even began turning away seasoned network penetration testers in favor of web application specialists because that's where the client demand is concentrated at right now. And if you're curious on my bold prediction of the future of penetration testing, I don't see this trend slowing down anytime soon. In fact, I wouldn't even be surprised if we saw 80, 90, 95% of my work becoming web application penetration tests. And the reason why I think this is because more and more companies nowadays are switching from on-prem environments to the cloud. And cloud pen testing is a little bit different than internal network penetration testing. Furthermore, with the advent of AI and vibe coding, it's easier than ever before to create a web application. When there's more web applications that are being developed, there's more web applications that need to be tested. So getting good at web application penetration testing not only opens up more opportunities for you today, it actually future-proofs your career. And beyond client work, there's actually another reason why you want to get some web app testing skills under your belt: bug bounties. If you're not familiar with bug bounties, they are essentially programs that invite security researchers to legally test web applications for vulnerabilities. Many are open to the public, however, there are some that are invite only. When you find a vulnerability, you submit it through the program, and if it's valid, you're rewarded based on severity. The rewards can be small, like recognition or free swag, or life-changing, ranging into the hundreds of thousands of dollars. The biggest payouts have even reached millions. To give you a practical example, I regularly see posts on LinkedIn of people earning hundreds or even thousands of dollars from a single bounty. I even have a coworker who landed a $10,000 bounty last year in his spare time. Companies like Google, Facebook, Microsoft, Apple, Uber, Tesla, Netflix, and even the US government all run bug bounty programs. The upside? Bug bounties let you freelance, work on your own schedule, and build real-world testing experience that employers respect. Many people outside the US even rely on bug bounties as their primary source of income when traditional cybersecurity roles aren't available. For transparency, I do not do bug bounties. While bug bounties can absolutely make you stand out in this field, they aren't 100% required to help you land your first pen testing gig. I'm proof of that. And if you're wondering why I don't like to do bug bounties, most of the reason boils down to I enjoy the steady paycheck of a full-time position, and I get paid whether I find a vulnerability or not. And that highlights the biggest drawback of bug bounties. They are performance-based. You can spend days, weeks, or even months without finding a single valid bug and earn nothing for your time. But if you're good, you can actually out-earn most penetration testers. Take Cosmin, for example. In 2020, HackerOne congratulated him on becoming the 7th, not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, not 5, not 6, but 7th hacker in the world to earn over $1 million through bug bounties. And that was 5 years ago, so that number might actually be higher today. Bug bounties can make you wealthy, supplement your income, or serve as a stepping stone to full-time roles. Having bug bounty experience on your resume absolutely makes you stand out to hiring managers. The roadmap. So how do you actually become a web application penetration tester? Here is a roadmap that works. Step 1, build your foundation. Before jumping headfirst into web applications, make sure you have basic technical and security knowledge. Certifications like CompTIA Network Plus and Security Plus are a solid way to cover these prerequisites. Step 2, learn the fundamentals of web technologies. Start with TryHackMe's Web Fundamentals path. Once you finish that, move on to their Web Application Pen Testing path. Alongside that, consider going through the PortSwigger Web Security Academy. It's free and many people consider it one of the best resources available. Step number 3, earn your first hands-on pen testing certification. While you're learning on TryHackMe and the PortSwigger Web Security Academy, simultaneously pursue entry-level and junior-level certifications. If you want to be a pen testing generalist, then consider going after TryHackMe's Junior Penetration Tester, that's the PT1 certification. However, if you want to specialize in web applications, which is a very valid option, like I said earlier, go for the TCM Security's Practical Web Pen Test Associate, PWPA. I have videos breaking down both of these certifications if you want to learn more about them. Step number 4, move on to intermediate certifications. Like it or not, junior and entry-level pen testing roles are very rare and borderline non-existent. And because of that, you need to market yourself as a mid-level professional to get your first pen testing gig. And in order to market yourself as a mid-level professional, you need to get an intermediate certification. I recommend certifications such as OffSec Web Assessor, TCM Security's Practical Web Pen Test Professional, or Hack the Box's Certified Web Exploitation Specialist, which used to be called Certified Bug Bounty Hunter. For context, the OSWA is very tough. Many people consider it more difficult than the OSCP, and I'm one of them. I actually failed the OSWA 3 times before I passed it, and that struggle makes the OSWA one of my most proud achievements and my all-time favorite certification that's on the wall back there. I have a video breaking down my OSWA journey if you want to hear the full story. Step number 5, start applying for jobs. Once you get an intermediate level certification under your belt, you are in a good position to start applying and even landing full-time penetration testing positions, assuming you are active on LinkedIn, you know how to market yourself, and you're prepared to do interviews. Step number 6, expert level certifications. While you are applying for jobs and conducting interviews, I recommend pursuing expert level certifications. Now, if you are pursuing expert level certifications and you are really struggling, then I recommend taking a step back and pursuing the other intermediate certifications. So take me for example. I got OSWA, I started going into OSWE. OSWE was a little bit more difficult for me, and now I'm considering going after more intermediate level certifications because I think a combination of intermediate certifications helps build the skill set to get to the expert level. For you, you might be able to go straight to the expert level. For me, I am just not able to do that. I need to get multiple intermediate level certifications before I can really shine at that expert level. And the certifications that I recommend at this level are the OffenSec Web Expert, the TCM Security Practical Web Pen Test Expert, and the Hack the Box Certified Web Exploitation Expert. These are high-level qualifications that can make you one of the most competitive candidates in the field. Now, full disclosure, I don't have any expert level certifications, which proves the point that you don't have to have an expert level certification to land your first job. These expert level certifications are really to get you from that mid-level pen testing position to that senior level pen testing position or the principal consultant level. And if you want a promotion or you want a raise or you just want more opportunities, these expert level certifications are really going to make you stand out. And because of that, these certifications are on my radar. Not only do I want one, but I would like to have multiple expert level certifications under my belt. However, they are taking a lot more time than I anticipated, and they are a lot more difficult than I expected. And I hate to make excuses, but one of the reasons why they're taking a lot longer and they seem more difficult is because I am dividing my attention up between learning technical skills and also building my personal brand. This content creation stuff does take a lot of time, but that reinforces my opinion, my firm belief that this field is not all technical skills, and personal branding is more important than ever before. Beyond the technical skills, and here's the cold hard truth that most people ignore. Your technical skills simply are not enough in today's modern job market. You need to document your journey on LinkedIn and other platforms. Put code on GitHub, write a blog, make YouTube videos. Posting consistently increases your visibility to recruiters and hiring managers. It also helps build your personal brand, which is becoming more important than ever now that we have entered this AI era. Learn how to write an effective resume and cover letter. Also, practice your interview skills. I can't stress this enough. You can be technically strong, but if you can't present yourself well, you will not get hired. Most people get eliminated from jobs because their competition was a better culture fit. And do not neglect your soft skills. If you're hard to work with, don't communicate well, or can't collaborate, you will struggle to stay employed no matter how skilled you are. Gone are the days of the IT guy who is a prick but still manages to keep his job because he's the only one that knows what's going on or because he is highly skilled. Please listen to Gary Vee. By the way, this is what managers and people who are running businesses are actually listening to. The people in your company, this is the content that they consume.
Figure out which employee makes the other employees miserable. I don't give a if it's your number one salesperson, best developer, or your co-founder. Cancer spreads. With cancer and politics comes lack of speed. Your company will get much slower because people are sitting around debating how miserable they are or worried to have meetings with other individuals. Your company will get slow in a world where the speed of product output, features, and how you interact with your customers has never been greater. It is never, ever been more important for you to care about the internal feelings, culture. Let me tell you.
So yeah, if you are highly technical and you know everything about everything, but you're not nice to people and people don't like to work with you, you will get fired. And I already made a video about soft skills in cybersecurity, so check that video out if you want more details. Also, for resumes, I don't have a full video on that yet, but you can go to kyserclark.com/resume for inspiration. If you enjoyed this video and you want even more details on how to become a web application penetration tester, then you have to watch my how to become a penetration tester video next. It's one of my most popular uploads and it complements everything I said in this video very well. Click and I'll see you over there.